Welcome to the GBS 233 presentation for business communications on resumes. This is Christine, your chair instructor. I look forward to sharing information with you today. Let's get started. Today we will be talking about two different types of resumes, chronological and functional. The chronological resume presents skills that are obtained from experiences and are listed in the order in which the skill was achieved. This has been a common format that has been used for many years. The other format is a functional resume that presents skills that are developed through various experiences and at different times. The functional resume has the benefit of allowing you to present skills that are the most critical to the employer, irrelevant of when or how you achieved the skill. It may not matter when or how you got the skill, but recognizes that you can genuinely offer the skill to the employer for employment purposes. We will be comparing the chronological and functional format in this presentation and learning when to use each type of format. There are some things that are similar and some things that are different between a chronological and a functional resume. We're going to look at each one. Let's begin with a chronological resume. Some of the items you would typically find on a chronological resume would include the full name with contact information, a keyword summary, a career summary, professional experience, education, and community service. You'll find that there are some things that are similar between a chronological and a functional resume, and there are some things that are different. Let's create a chronological resume to show you how they are similar or different. You want to start with your full name, address, and contact information. You want to make it easy for them to contact you. Second is a keyword summary. Here is a sample. You will notice that titles are about 15% of the summary. Skills make up 75% of the summary, and what I refer to as personal attributes are about 10% of the summary. The titles here include financial manager, accounting supervisor, and accounts payable. The skills are what you offer to the employer and they pay you to do. This is what they pay you for and makes up the majority of the list. Lastly is the items like bottom line oriented, high integrity, and performs under pressure. These are descriptors that let them see you as a real person. A chronological resume presents the events in your life in the order in which they occurred. It can include a career summary that summarizes the major skills and experiences you are offering. Only use a summary if it benefits the skills you're presenting to the employer. Next, you would list professional experiences with the most recent experience listed first. It usually includes a work history for the last 10 to 12 years or the last 3 employers. A common characteristic of all forms of resumes is that they use action verbs as the first word after the bullet. These words include responsible for, performed, directed, audited, supervised. All are action verbs. It says what you did. A full list of action verbs is provided for you in the class website. The fourth section for a chronological resume is education. Begin by stating the degree earned, the school that awarded the degree, including location and when it was earned. You can also share distinguishing awards. If you don't have any special recognitions, just list your degrees. The last item on this chronological resume is community service. This allows you to present yourself as a well-rounded person. Share skills that you have used in the service to your community. Include only items that you have done on an extended or continued basis. A one-time 2-hour service project is not meaningful enough to be listed as community service. Now we will look at a functional resume that includes many of the same elements as the chronological resume, such as keyword summary, career summary, work experience, education, and professional certifications. As we look more closely at the functional resume, you will notice it begins with your name and contact information. Like the chronological resume, there's also a keyword summary. The format is the same with titles, skills, and personal attributes. Remember, most of your keyword summary is the skills you're offering to the employer. The main difference between a functional and a chronological resume is how you present the skills you are offering to the employer. In a functional resume, it matters less when or where you obtain the skills. It focuses on presenting the skills you can honestly offer to the employer. The career summary allows you to summarize your skills. Rather than listing individual positions, it combines your total years of experience. It also doesn't matter when you got this experience. Other information about the skills you have listed in your keyword summary is then provided. The summary is presented early in the resume to put your best foot forward and to get you an interview. A summary of your skills and using the skills that are transferable, such as good communication, will get you an interview. Once you're in the interview, you can explain why you would be a great candidate for their company. It also gives you a chance to explain things like gaps in employment or frequent job changes. The skills you present should reflect the skills that are most important to the company and were listed in the job posting. Never list the skills that you don't truly have. The work experience section lists work that is relevant to the position you are seeking. It lists it in a chronological order, but focuses on work that develop the skills needed by that employer. This gives you the best chance of being brought in for an interview. In the interview, you can explain things like a gap in employment, frequent changes in employment, or desire to change careers. You will notice in this example, there is a gap in employment. Most people spend less than 30 seconds on one resume and only read the top half. By summarizing all of your experience above, you are telling the employer that you have what they need and are more likely to be bring them in for an interview. You will use this same technique when you have had a frequent change of employment. Often, when you completed a degree, you are looking for work in a field that is different than your current field of experience. That's why you're using your educational experience. In the education section, you want to include what is critical and important to the employer. If the degree was awarded over 20 years ago, it may not be relevant to the position. List what the employer needs. If you have a professional certification that is relevant to the position, list them in both the chronological or the functional resume. You always want to present the best attributes. These often reflect a dedication to career or a commitment to quality. Let's review the characteristics that are common to both types of resumes. First, there is few, if any, sentences. State your ideas concisely. Second is the keyword summary. Employers are looking for this. It helps them find people who have the skills they need. It says what you can do for them and shows a you attitude. Third, the length. Whether it's a chronological or a functional resume, for business, keep it to 1 page. Next, use bullets. This helps the HR staff and the hiring manager find the skills they are looking for. Use bullets to demonstrate that you are the right person for the position. Fifth, emphasize your key skills. The job posting should list the skills that are most important to the employer. If you have those skills, put them in a location that is easy to find, bold skills or certifications that will help you get an interview. Sixth, use community service and volunteer work to demonstrate and develop skills. This is particularly important if you have had a gap in employment or changed industries. Use community service to show that you have used the skills they are seeking to benefit their organization. Last, the font and size needs to be simple and easy to read, even after it was copied many times. Use an 11 or 12-point font in a style like Arial or Times New Roman. Use the information in this presentation to help you develop your functional resume. part of the assignment. Draw from information in past resumes. Move information around and make it easier for the employer to find what is important to them. Strive to put your best foot forward, showing that you have the skills that they need. You don't have to tell them everything. You just need to tell them what they need to know to see you as a candidate that is worthy of an interview. I welcome any questions you may have. Thank you for joining us today, and have a great week.